And we're live. Of course, we're live. I've just taken a big old swig. Good Monday evening, everybody. I'm Manny Vitale along with Thing. There's Thing. And today, Monday, which usually we do this on Wednesday. And what do? We do music and mayhem. So if we're doing music and mayhem, we got mayhem. Where's music? And bam, there's music. The man, Skylar Ray, is in the house.
Yes,
How you
indeed.
doing,
Let's
brother?
go. I'm doing good, man. I'm always excited for these type of shows. Just took a nap a little bit ago, but I woke up, so the energy's there. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
So every once in a while, you have to plug in and recharge yourself so you can keep going. It's funny because I have a short, like 2-3 hour battery, and I thought I was the only
Plug
one
you
till
in.
I got my dog Pound Cake, and I realized I have the battery of a bulldog. So
there
here
you
we are.
go. So is the doctor with you for nap time?
Oh yeah, always,
Always,
always.
always. Yep, yep. I
She
tell you,
influences me on all my bad decisions. So, oh yeah, she here.
that's pound cake.
Oh,
Pound
sweet.
cake, baby. Let's go.
Oh, so man, how everything else doing good, man? I saw that tomorrow you got something
Yep.
going on, and I posted it to our page too,
Yeah.
man.
Thank
Why
you
don't you
so
give
much.
someone? Why don't you give an
Yeah,
update on
tell us
that,
about it.
man? What's going on tomorrow?
So tomorrow we are gonna be. It is gonna be tour stop number 18
18.
in Baker
Yeah,
City,
baby.
Oregon. I'm excited about it. It's with New Direction Northwest. We were there last year with them. Last year we met in a park. Set up sound, put on a good show. I usually speak for about an hour, then me and Kayla tear it down with some music.
Nice.
It's really cool, man. It's always nice to be invited back. It's always nice to put on such a good show. They're like, hey, this is useful. Come back again. So here we are for our second year with Northwest. Sorry. New Directions
Yep.
Northwest. We are back with them, and it's really awesome because tour is starting to ramp up, but at the same time wind down. I believe we have less than 30 stops this year, so. Tomorrow's tour stop number 18. It's a free show. So if you in the area, I will see you there 5:30 to 8 p.m. It is going to be over at Geezer, Gazer, Geezer Pullman
Jesus.
Park. If I
Hey,
butchered that, no worries. You know what I'm talking about. Just show up.
it's at the
And
Geezer Park.
if that don't sound familiar, well, then
You
you
find
probably ain't
someone
from
that does.
Baker City.
Yeah,
So here we go, baby. See
that's
y'all
right.
tomorrow, Baker City. Let's go.
That's right. We'll see you at the Geezer Park, man. Bunch of old suckers going around.
Geezer Park,
Geezer, baby.
50 and up free.
Oh, by the way, Ginger and Boston are already in.
Oh, Boston,
Oh,
And
2%
let's
Ginger.
and
go.
Ginger
Okay.
in the house. There you go, Skylar. Boston, 2%. Boston, 2%. My man,
I
my
love
brother,
it.
Skylar.
Nice to meet you, man. Absolutely. Thank you for popping on. He was just telling me about you, so keep doing what you're doing.
Oh
Keep
my
being
God.
inspiring.
That
Absolutely.
man, I tell you what, Boston, just me saying his name gets me fired up because that man, Boston has done so much for so many people, and every day when you think he is maxed out, it's like, man, this guy needs a break. Man, boom, he's like, you know what? I am in where was he at? Seattle. I'm moving to Alabama. When? Tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
He just did 2 shows with me, sitting on the floor of his apartment with a tote and a microphone.
Hey, let's go.
Yeah,
Let's
Boston don't
go.
play. Oh
You
man,
gotta handle business sometimes.
That's right.
that's Boston
No
2%,
excuses.
man. That is him, man. So this is Boston. I love you, brother. Thank you again. And Ginger, thank you for coming on with us. And Skylar, man, I tell you what, ever since that first show we did, it's been when Skylar coming back on. When Skylar coming back on. I'm like, you
We
guys
here.
know. It's like you guys know I was there too, right?
And
My
Janet
man
Gibson.
Manny.
Dan Gibson's on.
And Danny, your boy
Woo!
Dan Gibson.
Let's go.
Danny's
Yes.
on here.
It's good to see you, Danny. Hold on, let me swipe to the comments real quick.
Yeah,
Wow, there
yeah.
we go. I
There,
see it. Hey,
Danny.
shout out to Danny, Ginger, Boston. Let's go. Thank you
Yeah.
guys for showing
Yeah,
up.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I tell you, and yeah, it was. How's your day, man? I tell you what. What's the weather like there? Where you at right now?
Uh, Probably in the 70s. There's
7.
no
Okay.
rain, sunshine, not too hot, nothing too crazy. It's pretty typical for September right now. I just had to look it to the right of my computer to say what month it was. I be forgetting what day and what month it is. I don't
You-
even live in reality. Every
you-
day is a blur. I was like, yeah, let's go. and they're like, I told you Tuesdays I'm busy. I'm like, well, what's today?
Yeah, what that
Oh, it's
well, it's
Monday,
funny.
is it?
You know what, Scott? It's funny you said that because during one of our conversations, me and Boston, we were just talking about the old days, and
Uh,
he goes, "You know what, man?" He goes, "I had a thing. It was like he forgot what month it was too." He's like, and I'm like, "Hey, I've gone to the clubhouse party, and before we get there on Wednesday." And it's like we watch the sun, go down. The sun comes
yeah,
up. Then it's like by the third time, it's like you realize it's Sunday. It's like, shit, we
it's
started
crazy.
this.
Ugh.
Oh man.
Days
Uh,
blur together, man. I don't even know because it's like I do music for a living, so I don't know what days it is. I don't know. I just know if I have a show coming up the next day or not. And
You're
it gets crazy, especially I don't even know. Like a lot of times, I always forget my age. I always forget what year it is. People are like what? Like I'll be looking, and I'm the only one that has to ask when I'm filling out paperwork. I'm like, what year is it?
yeah,
What?
yeah. Oh,
I'm like,
I've
is
done.
it 2024? I'm like, damn.
You're
I'm
like,
like 30.
no.
30, I'm 33. I'm like, no.
Oh,
I'm like,
shit.
Kayla, how old am I? She's like, well, you
I've,
be 33. I'm like, so I'll be 34 this year. I was like, it's, I don't
I've
know.
done that.
It
I've
happens.
done
Here we
I've done
go.
that before at birthdays, man. It's like, man, how old are you? And this was years and years ago. I
Yeah.
was like 40 something. And they're like, no. Oh, same thing though, man. It's like, hey, you know what?
Doesn't matter.
Hey, this is your world. I just live in it. And this is, during sober times now, but man, back in
Yeah.
the day, shit.
Oh, God.
But I just saw who else? I just saw Trisha. Trisha's on here.
And Katie.
But anyways, man, this is what number
Number two.
show for Music and Mayhem. And
Let's go.
I tell you, man, and this all came about. Just a
Yeah.
quick recap from everybody that Skylar was gracious enough to come on My Fight or War, tell his story. And as soon as we heard the story, and as soon as we got done talking, just like I was saying with some of the other guests, you just click with some.
Yeah.
And we talked like a half hour before and a half hour after, and then it did an hour and a half show.
Mhm.
I mean, and then I was like, you know what? Then the next day, people were just chiming in, loved it. So me and
That's
Skylar were
dope.
like, hey, listen, man, what do you think about doing this? And it was like, let's do a show.
Let's
And here
do it.
we are.
Music and Mayhem, the
Music
origin.
and Mayhem, man. And with
Yep.
your music, you and Kayla, I mean, like I've said, you hit it with the right, she follows with the left. When your music, the way it affects people, and me and
Thank you.
OG were talking about with your message and the music and just
Yeah.
everything about it, how it helps people, not only in recovery, but just in life. And then
Mhm.
listening to some of your music, I was trying to describe it to some people. I mean, what do you find, when like with you and all your fellow artists, as far as your music and what your feedback that you get from your guests, as far as what you give them?
They tell me it's inspiring, man. I get a lot of people, a lot of messages in my DMs talking about that, my music inspires them, helps them get sober, maybe helps them get through a hard day without using. It inspires them to want to make that positive change, right? Because it shows them that somebody like me, who is like a lot of people in this world, come from hell, and we're able to pull ourselves out of it to go on to do what we dreamed of, and it's kind of a big deal. You know, it's funny because I always think that what I'm doing is not a big deal, even though I hear the results and I see the results. But it's funny how like I was about to tell myself it's a big deal, but what I'm doing is not. It's crazy how we automatically think that, right? I guess what I'm doing is something pretty cool, right? And
Yes,
if
right.
I saw anybody else doing it and making it this far, I would say it's a big deal. So I guess I got to give myself more credit. But it's really cool to be able to make a positive impact on people's life. You know, I've seen people get tattoos of my logo.
Mhm.
I've seen somebody just recently got it. People name their cat. Somebody just messaged me the other day with their cat. They named Skylar Ray. I know guinea pigs that are named Skylar Ray. I know, you know what I'm saying? I know a few different animals that people have named their animals after me.
Oh, see,
You
man, you
know,
get cool shit like that, man. I get people that are like, man, I got this pet jackass, and they named it Manny. It's like,
his name is Manny V, baby.
Manny the jackass. It's like, oh, fuck,
Um,
you got
he
Manny
just
the
we
jackass.
can't stop getting him to eat the rug. He's
I
eating the
can't.
carpet. He's eating.
This damn, it's like this jackass reminds me of
Uh
Manny. At least I made an impression on your ass.
That's
huh.
right.
Let's
On your
go,
ass.
baby, Manny. Yeah. Chasing the tail
Oh,
everywhere.
oh my God, man. But I mean, it's so true though, man. Because, and I've had some people when I told them what our topic was, they were like, "Oh, come on, man. It's just, it's here and gone." I'm like,
Yeah.
"No, it's not. You know, when
Yeah.
you listen to no matter what the music is or whatever, I mean, like a movie, a poem, a
Yeah.
reading,
Mm-hmm.
it affects certain people certain ways. And your message, it's not only your message, it's just the way that you guys sing. And
Thank you.
you and the rest of all your fellow artists, man. Because I never listened to it before, you know. Obviously,
Yeah.
I didn't, because I didn't listen to that type of music when I was partying with the motorcycle club and all this shit, partying like a rock star. I was listening to a lot of like heavy metal, a lot of just other different stuff, and I never considered, you know, inspirational music and all that. And I didn't know like the
Yeah.
rap and the power behind it.
It's like
Man,
it's like gospel music for the
Mhm.
addicts.
you know what? But with a kick though, with a kick, like I said,
Yeah.
yours, with you come in with your rap and your verses, it's like a gut shot, man. It's like boom, 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 and then she comes in with her voice of gold and just like woo, and
It's nice. It
it's
works.
just in such a positive way. And because people are like, oh, well, that's just like what other music makes you crazy. It's like, well, I'll tell you what, I'm not saying it makes you crazy, but like when I played for Lakeview, I've loved hockey. And when I
Yeah.
was a senior, I was captain of the team for Lakeview, and we'd listen to music and stuff in the locker room before games. And my song before we went on the ice, man, was Thunderstruck. You know, and
Oh, bro, I
you
used to
want
listen to that
that.
right
I
before
mean, you
football
get
games.
that. Oh, you start slamming sticks and
Thunderstruck.
punching shit. And
Oh
why?
my, I used
Because
to
it
love
fires
it.
you up. You go
Remember
flying
that on
on that
Varsity
ice.
Blues?
Oh, that's what, yeah. And now, but I did
Had
it
'em
before
singing
those
at the
guys.
knees.
I did that before those some bitches.
Ah,
We'd be on the ice, we'd be punching every, you know, I wanted to punch the ref. I was just so fired up. And
ah.
so the music does have an effect on people.
Mhm.
It truly does. It could change their outlook. It could inspire them, and it could really be planting seeds all along, right?
Mhm.
Positive seeds of what they should do, or maybe it inspires them in the moment to do something, which could be a snowball effect on something positive that could have an outward effect on other people. So therefore, it really does make a change, a shift in the brain, right? It makes you think different. Just like you said, the songs that make you want to go crazy, like Thunderstruck, different things like that. It can do that, even if it is for the moment.
Yeah.
The actions in that moment can be everlasting for someone's lifetime.
You
It can be that shift, that push over the edge, because just how music can provoke you in a different way, it can be in a positive way. So I really does think it does have an impact on, people's cognitive, people's, daily life, their tasks, their actions, their dreaming, their goals, right? And especially like their outlook, right? Because I know we've all
mhm.
watched a movie that makes you think differently.
Mhm.
It's like,
Yes.
wow, I never
Yes.
thought of it like that. It's the same thing with music. It could definitely
So
change the way you
true.
see things. So,
So true. And just peeking over here at the comments again, I saw someone I haven't seen and talked to in a while, Karen, aka Trouble. And that
Mm.
was back in the
let's
crazy
go.
biker days. I tell you what, Karen, her name is very fitting, but she
Uh-huh.
is what a kind heart, man. And we just reconnected talking to Karen, and she's got a lot going on and possibly going to be coming on the show. So we're going to be
Nice.
chit chatting about that. But it's great to connect with Karen. Trouble, I know there's trouble. So trouble.
Hey, Karen's a
How you
bunch of
doing?
trouble, huh?
She is trouble.
Let's go.
So I forgot what the hell I was going to say now. What was I going to say, OG? Oh, besides all the things you were just saying, man, about about the positive stuff, OG,
Yes.
she's still fooling people to think she's actually a licensed nurse.
You not
And
licensed?
well, sure,
Okay.
yeah,
All right.
yeah.
Fair enough.
He thinks
Hey,
he's
it is what it is.
She's got this little name tag. It says I'm Lynn RN. It's spelled backwards, but
Mm.
no, she said when I told her about you guys, your music, and then when we were
Yeah.
talking about the topic about the positive stuff and the positive things with it, she actually went and did her nurse thing. And go
Yeah.
ahead, man. What do you?
I'm not going to read the whole thing, but the first one especially, and this is from the National Institutes of Health, so it's not like some scam organization. But the
Yeah.
music will give a dopamine release and an endorphin release. So listening to music can trigger the release of dopamine. It's a neurotransmitter associated with pleasure and reward. This can enhance mood and provide a sense of happiness. Okay, so there's music like your Thunderstruck that gives you the energy, but for a lot of music, it really does increase. No matter what, that's also a dopamine increase.
Sure, man. It's
Yeah.
affecting.
Which is so important.
And just another thing, me and Skylar were talking earlier, as this information from OG and all that, and you can't. We are in the process of updating the studio, and
Yeah.
we have a camera on order, so I'll be able to hit that splitter, so you'll be able to actually see the face behind the voice, and then you'll be able to see the minus the tattoos,
The
man.
hand in
When
front of
things
the mic,
start,
huh?
yeah, shit, the old
Shoot
thing.
it.
Remember, we don't even know if that's really her.
Okay.
We don't.
Like
We don't. We
you
just hear
said.
the voice.
The voice
I don't
from
even know if that's you
beyond.
throwing your voice. Like a
Baby.
ventriloquist. I do not know that.
Yeah, let's see. You start talking again, and
Yeah.
yep.
Okay. Nope. Yeah.
Ah, there she goes. No wonder why we don't know if she's registered. You know what I'm saying? Like, she got the
Oh,
little name
no.
tag off of. Come on now.
Y'all are
Come
ganging up
on
on
now.
me.
Yeah, man. So I mean, there actually is, besides just what we're talking about.
There really is some
she's
scientific
got
reason behind
what
these
else
things.
you got?
Well, it causes neuroplasticity, which is so very important, only because I am a nurse, really. And stop looking at me like that. Engaging with music, whether by listening or playing an instrument, can facilitate the regeneration and repair of neurons, contributing to brain health and resilience. So this is also good for people like stroke victims or people who've had TED trauma. Okay, I'm
Come on, OG. Keep
No. Well, maybe you start talking head
going.
trauma. What?
head trauma with like hockey players.
Hey,
Okay. Neural active. Okay, I can go on. I got 6 things. Neural activation. Music activates multiple brain areas, including those involved in movement, sensation, and emotion. This widespread activation can improve overall brain health and function.
you even got pound cake interested in that one.
Baby. Okay, that's 3. You guys go on.
Well,
Doc.
no, it just goes to show you that, I mean, very serious though. I mean, that
Yeah.
just goes to show that, OG, what she found, it's not just, well, you know what? It sounds nice and it makes me feel good.
So there's scientific
there-
research
There's
behind
actual, what she just said.
research.
No,
No.
that is really good research.
Yeah.
OG, we don't mean to discourage you. We just
Oh,
silly,
honey,
but
you
these are
can't- you
good
can't-
facts. These are
Skylar,
good facts.
you
seriously.
don't know me yet. You cannot
Oh.
discourage me.
Oh.
That's not part of my DNA.
I tell you,
Oh.
she's
No,
like,
no.
it's like challenge accepted.
Hey, Karen,
Yeah.
Karen said, hence why when hospice patients have music therapy.
Yes.
There she goes with her
Excellent.
hence. No one says hence anymore. We were
Hence.
talking earlier, and she sent me a text, and we were talking. And
I do it in my text, but I don't do it vocally.
Hell no. It's
Or
like,
audibly.
it's like, hence,
You know?
hence. And she goes, I'm old. She goes, old people say hence. So hence,
Hey, it's a good
you
word
said
filler.
it.
It
Okay,
works. It works.
So trouble. So
Hey.
now trouble's word is hence.
Okay.
Shoot it. Looks like we have Jared in here. Jared from Black.
Jared!
Yo.
Oh,
Hey.
and Lori's here.
Lori. We got Lori. How you
Let's
doing,
go,
Lori?
Lori.
Jared. Jory from Define Blacklist, and Jerry Blaine with all of his badass music that's kicking butt over
The
at
whole
Spotify.
family is here.
Everybody's
All right.
in the house.
Yeah, babe.
They
Let's
came
go.
to see Skylar and Pound Cake.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go.
Okay.
Let's
She
do
being
it.
a baby right now.
That baby count. I tell you what, I'd do that to Susie, but she bite me. Plus, she's busy sleeping.
Yeah.
So we'll
Susie
get
don't
Susie
play
on a
no
little
games.
bit. Susie don't.
Are we
She's
gonna
just like,
gonna get Susie a splitter?
No.
no.
No. You had
No.
to think about that one?
No, the cameras are too friggin' expensive.
Oh,
No, only
man.
2 cameras per
Yeah.
household.
Bah.
But so it's just cool to show, man, that with your music and all the people that you perform with. I mean, besides just sounding kick ass, I mean,
Yeah.
there's such a purpose behind it, and you're changing so many lives, and not only their lives, but then they're going home and telling people, just like I did about you and Kayla. But the thing is, too, man, it's just it's one part of the recovery, just like all the different parts that people go through. But
Yeah.
what people can't forget too, man, is like with the music, there is the mayhem. There is
Absolutely.
that part of recovery where it's not all sunshine and smiles, man.
Mhm.
There's parts of, and we all know that all too well. And that's where it kind of flows into the music, because when we get those dark days, when we have that relapse, when we have that person, if
And
you're
those
not
days
the
are
one,
gonna come. Those days
they're
are
gonna
come.
come. They're gonna and even
Nobody's
if you're not
perfect,
the
the
one
mayhem will come.
that will, and even if you're not the one in active recovery, man, maybe you're a friend, a family member. If you're that person who's dealing with it as a family or friend, you're going through it too. So I mean, it's that roller coaster of hell that we all go through. And if you can find, I mean, and it's there. And when some people are like, you know what, I am done with you until you recover. And sometimes as people dealing with what we've done, we've said and done a lot of shitty things. And sometimes those bridges can't be repaired. And we got to own what we did and move on. But then
You
you
got to
got the
clean up your
people.
side of the sidewalk.
You
Mhm,
do, man, because
mhm.
then when you get shit going on where people are like, "Well, I'm done with you until you prove yourself." Well, okay, that's their choice, just like it's ours to do whatever. But
Yeah.
then they after you get by the grace of God, we do get that blessing of recovery. Then they come in like, oh, okay, and this is so they're all happy and proud, which is fine. But
Yeah.
it's like, you know what? You see the sunshine and roses. You missed out on all the hell and the being knocked down, getting back up, getting knocked down twice as hard,
Yeah.
getting up just as fast.
Mhm.
There's that part
Absolutely.
too. And if people listening to your music, is going to ease that, they know they can have that faith, knowing that, you know what, I'm going to have these shitty days. I'm going to have these times where I'm going to doubt myself,
You ain't got to
but
be
I can
perfect.
go like this and I can turn on Skylar Ray.
Mhm.
Let's
And
go.
then
Let's
you know
go.
what? It's not going to make my life perfect and everything go away, but it's going to take me out of that moment
Yeah.
and get me into a positive mindset.
And that's what it's about,
Woo!
I like that. And that's what it's about. You don't have to be perfect in this life. And that's what I try to like demonstrate with my music. Like, far from perfect, don't have to be great. You could be a normal person, but it's okay to give that effort. It's okay to be afraid. It's okay to be guilty. It's okay to take a step backwards, but what is not as okay is to give up.
True.
And that's what we try to do with the music, and that's what we try to show and display. And I think it's powerful. I think a lot of people relate to it. Pound Cake got a lot to say down here. She is the
Oh,
mayhem right now to the show. I promise you what, I will. Yeah, Pound
now
Cake.
it's
Don't make me
happening.
cut this live, Pound Cake.
I tell you,
I
as soon as
will
I get
turn
the
this
break.
car around.
Oh, don't make me stop this car.
Don't make me
But
stop this car. I'll
oh
do it.
man, but
I'll
yeah, I
do
mean,
it.
it's just there's so many different tools out there that people sometimes, if you get, excuse me, someone dealing with it, or you get, families are dealing with someone dealing with it,
Mhm.
they've never dealt with it before, so they don't know what's out there. And then, that's like, if this doesn't work, we're screwed. No, you're not, because if this
Yeah.
doesn't work, we're going to try that. If that doesn't work, we're going to try something else. And like you said, man, one thing that I always say is you will never fail. You will never fail as long as you don't quit and as long as you don't give up. That's the only way you'll fail. If you
Because you didn't
stumble and
fail if you
fall,
keep going.
That's
if you
right.
keep going, you
That's
didn't
not the
fail. It's
end.
a setback. And the thing
Yeah.
is, there are no setbacks. There's only temporary great comebacks waiting to happen.
Mhm.
And there's it's like that saying, there's no losses, just lessons. And I truly believe that. I lose a lot, I make a lot of mistakes, I make a lot of errors, but a lot of people just see the results and they see the wins, right? But they don't understand, like, they're like, for example, like an analogy, right? All you see is me hit the ball, hit the home run, but you don't see how many times I got struck out. You
Right.
know
Exactly,
what I'm saying?
man.
On the way
Yeah.
there, like, yeah, I did it, but it took like 20 tries. I wasn't that good. But you just got to keep going, and that's the thing. Dan Gibson said amen to that. Lori said never give
Yeah.
up. Heidi
Yep.
Never,
said
never
try,
give.
try again. Don't
Again, don't
ever
ever
You
give
will
up.
give up.
never. The thing is now, I mean, and just remember, you took that first step. You reached out for help. That's the key, is that first step. The first step's the hardest. But then once you realize, you listen to our stories and you realize you're not alone. You're not alone. Once you realize you're not alone, you start hearing our stories,
Yeah.
yours, mine, Jared's, Danny.
Mhm.
You hear all
Mhm.
these different stories. It's like, I'm not alone. And then you start getting these responses where you can take this, as long as you never lose faith in yourself. I said one time, I go, it's okay to doubt yourself. And then I thought about it. I was so pissed off at myself. No, it's not okay to doubt yourself.
Yeah.
It's not, because you know what? That's like giving into the other side. You may have feelings and stuff like that that maybe set you back a little bit, but as long as you always have faith that, this maybe didn't work, but I know I can do it. I
Mhm.
know I will. I mean,
Absolutely.
just don't. And like you said, Skylar, I mean, yeah, are we going to fall? Hell yeah, we're going to fall. But we
Hard.
get up. And the
We're gonna
best
fall
part is,
hard.
oh shit, man, it's like we're going to fall. And I love what you said too about hitting the home run. You missed all
Let's
the
go.
other things that happened. And
Yeah.
when people see this part of recovery, what we're doing now with these shows, they're like,
Yeah.
man, you have so much fun. Yeah, yeah, but you know what happened before all this
A
fun?
lot of hell.
A
It
lot of
was a
hell.
lot of a lot of pain, a lot
Yeah.
of tears, a lot of very
Well, if
ugly
it
parts
didn't
of our
rain, you
lives.
wouldn't appreciate the sunshine. So it has to
Exactly.
be able to rain for you to appreciate the good days. If every day was great, then how are you gonna? What's the standard? You
Mhm.
know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? You're always gonna want more. So I think it's important to understand that there's going to be dark and gloomy days, but that the sunshine will come. So you to get to the next side, you do have to keep going one foot at another. It's okay to take breaks. It's okay to be moment by moment. But understand that the rain will go away. That's
Mhm.
absolutely the truth. Things will get better.
Yes.
As long as you don't give up, and that's the thing. It's important for people to understand that not every moment's supposed to be sweet, not everything's supposed to be wonderful and great and flowers, and you know what I'm saying, life isn't supposed to just be perfect. There's still going to be downfalls, and I think a lot of people don't realize that when they get clean and sober, right? They don't understand the aspect that, you got to be patient. People think they're going to
Mhm.
get out of treatment or get sober, then they're going to have that attractive significant other, that great
Oh,
paying job, that dog, that house, that dream car. It's like you could have those things, but you have to work towards it, right? The work is never
exactly.
done.
It's never
And just
done.
because you got clean and sober, like I always tell people, be kind to yourself, be patient, right?
Exactly. And,
And
and
so
that's
it's
so true
huge.
too, man. And you know what, Skylar? When we were at our worst, there's so many times we beat ourselves up. And deservingly so, man. I mean, all that shit. I'll have people say, man, you forget about the past. No, I ain't gonna forget about because I did it. And when I think about it, when I start to get a little bit too complacent, it's like, well, I'm doing good enough now. I'm doing okay now. You know what? No, I go back, not to dwell on it, but to think, okay, wait, you were there. You could go there again if you fuck up a couple times. So now those things in the past make me remember I don't ever want to go there again. And
Yeah,
it just makes you that much better. And now we're taking people with us. But
yeah,
that's the cool thing is we just the support that we give to each other. I mean, it's just as we see right here, man, with Karen and Danny and Jared, all of them, Ginger. I mean, this is family, man, and this
Mhm.
is what we do.
it
But
really is.
yeah, so I mean, this is awesome, man. This was such a here it went from just us doing a show together,
Mhm.
having some
Yeah,
laughs and serious shit, to doing what we're
let's
doing now,
go.
and just the interaction and just reaching so many different levels, man. So this is awesome, Skylar. I appreciate it, brother.
Of course, man. Of course, it's important for people to understand that, they may not be able to put things into words, but just to know that someone else is going through it or has been through it and made it to the other side can be inspiring on its own.
Yeah, man. I mean, because here they're looking at you and your music, and it just reminded me of something you said about you. It's okay now. You're like, well, I guess I'm okay, and hell yeah, yeah. Look what we're. And then how you said where you were to where you
Mm.
are, but I mean, your cheat code. Remember when she
Yeah,
here
baby.
here
Chico.
talking about you and you're singing and you're rapping. You're like, all right, I'm here, I'm here, and then all of a sudden she's like, hey, honey, you're off beat.
Hey,
And
it's
you didn't
true.
even
It's
know it.
true.
No,
She
no,
had to give
I
me a.
remember that story, man. I remember everything, Skylar. I remember you telling me that. And here, all this time, you were like, I'm good, I'm good. And then you meet your other half, and she's like, you know what? I'm going to make you better.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And look what happened, man. I mean, you want to tell people about that? I mean, what happened?
Yeah, about her like helping me be on beat and stuff
Yep,
like
yep, yep.
that, or
Yeah, yeah, that you didn't realize, and she heard it, and you're like, oh,
yeah,
'Cause she's
yeah, no,
classically trained,
absolutely.
right?
She is classically trained. She
mhm.
Mhm.
background in opera, music theory, all that stuff. She's super talented, super talented. And so like this whole time I was making music and like I didn't know, like no one told me I was offbeat or anything like that, right? No one told me that I can be better. Or really showed me they're like, oh, that song's dope or that song's fire, but no one ever showed me how to do things better. And so with that, she really pointed out what I could work on. And one sec, I'm gonna let Cakes out. Cakes gotta go to the bathroom.
No,
One
you
sec.
got it.
Hold on. Hold on
Hey,
one
no
sec. Come on,
problem.
mamas.
You gotta go number
Go,
one
go,
and
go,
two.
go, go.
But
Thank you. But
That's what happens in live TV or live
that's
shows.
why I
I
love
let her go
everything
out
live,
right
man.
before I came on the podcast, and now she's crying, and I'm just like, maybe she has to go.
She gotta go wee wee.
We'll find out. I don't know. She just went upstairs. So with that, so check it out, everybody. Struggling. Uh, Kayla told me like, hey, like this needs work, and it was crazy because I couldn't hear it. I'm just like, what do you mean? And she was kind of showing me, and I remember we started recording music together, and she would literally put me on beat. she would put me in the pockets that I'm supposed to be in. She would do all this for me for this album we're making together. And then after we started doing shows, I started hearing it and I was like, oh, I actually sound like dope. Like this sounds really cool. She's like, yeah, because you're on beat now. All right. But we did enough shows together. When we came in to record something else, I started like hearing it. I'd record something and I'm like, that's off beat. That's off. And she's like, what? And I was like, that's off beat. And she's like, so you can hear it now. And I was like, yeah.
Uh-huh.
But I couldn't
That's
hear it until someone showed me. And sometimes, like, the things that we may think are impossible are actually possible. You just
mhm.
got to take time to sit in the moment and make those adjustments, right? And really pay attention. But unless Kayla showed me, I'd probably still be off beat. I don't think the music would be as popular. I never struggled with like songwriting and things like that, but rhythm and everything like that I did. And so Kayla was able to walk me through that process. And with that came a lot of painful growth, but I got to the other end, and
Yeah.
it's
Hmm.
something I still work on.
Yeah, yeah, and the thing too is, we talked about before, surrounding yourself by the right people. I mean, because
Hmm.
when I remember when I first started doing this, um, uh, I remember Dan and Donna from Hard Knocks and Brad over Sober School, man. And they're like, once I told them how much I loved doing this, and they saw that I was decent at doing it, and I was going to start
Yeah,
growing, they're like, man, just be careful, man. Do not surround yourself by yes people,
yeah,
because you're not. And I didn't know what the hell I was talking. I was back and forth, and all of a sudden you start getting other people's input, and if they're not the yes people, you may not like it. It's like, "Oh, I'm good," but then when like you got the results, you were doing you were doing good, just fine, and then
yeah.
you got that person who was there for you, like your cheat code, man. And
Hmm.
all of a sudden, boom,
Love that.
boom,
Took off,
and oh, that's awesome, man. And that's just another benefit of recovery, another benefit of
man.
music and mayhem.
You know what the great thing about all it is, man, is honestly is, I tell people all the time, like, doing music for a living, traveling everywhere, traveling outside the country, rocking arenas, doing other shows, tens of millions of streams on our songs, making a living doing it. Is it's really cool. It's really exciting, right? And it's quite the achievement. But my greatest achievement is Kayla has never seen me under the influence. And the
Yeah.
reason why it's a big deal is because you only get to say that until you don't, right?
Hmm.
And so that is my biggest flex of all time is that Kayla's never seen me under the influence. And I plan on keeping it that way, right? But the cool thing about that is now that I'm in a sober place, now I'm in the right place mentally, that I'm able to treat her the way she's supposed to be treated. And because of that, she decides to stick around. And therefore, I got my cheat code for another
That's a
day.
cheat code, brother. That's a beautiful
You
thing.
know
And
what
you
I'm
know what?
saying?
And I still love the bathtub quote about your best day sober or something. What was that one? Something
My
about
best day sober is better than
No,
my
your
worst
worst
day
day.
day
sober
sober.
is better than my best day getting high.
There
There
you
you
go.
go.
Because with that, you do that one time, and there goes your cheat code.
Man,
No,
And
yeah.
that.
it's beautiful. It's beautiful, and I think about it all the time because, like, I would like to have a drink. Uh, I'm an alcoholic, right? My main drug of choice is meth. But with that, like, I would like to have a drink like a normal person. Like, we travel a lot. I would love to be on a beach in Mexico when we're out there and have a margarita somewhere in Miami and have a margarita and a cigar and a nice meal on Ocean Drive right there.
Yep.
There's so many things I would like to do, but I know I can't. I know I can't. I know
Hmm.
where it leads to. I played the tape through. I've never been able to successfully drink, so I'm not going to see if I could figure that path out.
No,
Why I
no,
have
no,
so much
no.
on the line because I do understand what Kayla adds to everything, and I value that, right? Not
That's
just as
awesome,
a
man.
music aspect, but as like a life partner, right? I don't even want to open up that road because I know if it's a door open, it's a door that will never shut,
Hmm.
right? And
So
unfortunately, you
true.
believe that, shut that door, she might be on the other side and she might not be able to get it back open to come back. So, you got to think about all those type of things. There's so much more on the line than just a good time. Like the good times will come and go. You could still create a good time without the drink. I know
True.
sometimes we want to amplify it. Like, man, trust me, I would love to have a margarita and get silly. You know what
Oh
I'm
man, I
saying?
tell you.
Like, I would love to do some dope. You know what I'm saying?
Ooh.
Hey.
Unfortunately, I know I can't. Like, I know where it leads down to. It has
Mhm.
never worked out. I face the facts. I'm an addict. And that's just something I can't have in life. But while not having those things in my life, I've had a lot of cool rewards. I have a lot of cool, things that are built to last. And you know what? It's a pretty fair trade-off. It's a
Oh
fair
God, yeah.
trade-off. I think so.
It is, Skylar. I tell you what, man. Looking back, and that's the weird thing with me, man. Was obviously with the drinking was, when they asked me, they said when they came in your room and they said, told you, you've got less than 6 weeks to live, and I had to say my goodbyes to my family, and that they're like, how did you act? How did you feel? And I said, I felt nothing. That's because
Yeah.
for that part of my life, I felt nothing. I cared about nothing. Nothing mattered. And even at that point, and I said, the only time I was ever afraid is when they came in and they're like, dude, you're supposed to be dead. We thought you'd be dead in 48 hours. But after we started doing your blood work, it's all back to normal now and you're going to live.
Yeah.
When they said that, but then they said, don't even think about looking at alcohol.
Yeah.
And I remember instead of like, I'm going to live and all that, I was just like, live without drinking. I'm like, how? And I started thinking, I'm going to go home. I'm never coming out of the basement. I'll never be able to go and talk to people because I don't know how to act without having drinks in me and being silly and all that.
It's weird. You don't know what to do.
Oh my God. So all of a sudden, and this was when COVID took over the world 5 years ago. So I'd never had any type of counseling. I never had anything because they couldn't because of COVID. I've never had anything. And by the grace of God, man, I've never had one craving. I've never had any withdrawal symptoms or anything like that. And I've found that somehow I'm still the same asshole that I was and having fun and getting crazy without the drugs and alcohol. I'm still, and that even more so at times, because I've had people say, are you on drugs again? Just because it's years out there and enjoying life and enjoying all these things. And it's like, there is life after addiction. And my biggest thing is addiction is not a death sentence, man. And we're proof. All of us are.
No, absolutely. We are proof. And that's the thing is like there is ways to have fun. And I think a lot of people, they like, so we've been drinking and drugging for so long, right? That we don't know how to have fun without it, right? Because we start as teenagers, we start as, we keep going to our adulthood. And then we get sober and it's like, go try to have fun. And it's like, I'll go I can't have a drink. I'll go,
Yeah.
wait, what do we do? What do we do to have fun, right? I haven't had fun since I was like maybe 8, 9 years old without a drink or a drug. Like what is there? So that's why I always tell people, be patient, but also you got to learn yourself, right? You got to understand, what makes you tick. You got to understand what motivates you. What are your hobbies? What are your passions? It's like it's like getting to know like a partner or like a friend. It's like when you're finding all these things out, you have to sit with it and ask yourself those uncomfortable questions. What do you do? What do you love?
Yeah.
Do you
And the
have
thing
any
is,
aspirations?
and the
Like,
thing
go
is, you
for
can
it.
do, man. Like you said, what are the things like me? All the things that's like, well, what do you do? What do you do? You do the exact same things that you did that made you
Yeah.
happy, that you thought you had to enhance with drugs and alcohol to make you happier. No. So
Yeah.
here, watching the sunrise, here, going out, being in the woods, here,
Yeah.
going out, riding, getting on that Harley and, going to the gym and being with family, being with friends, all these things, but doing it sober. And it's just like, so I'm doing everything the same minus the drugs and alcohol. And it's just like, shit,
Wow.
there you can actually do this
You
without
could have
drugs and alcohol.
fun. You could
You
have
could,
fun.
especially, with your life. Me, I was like the biker, the party, being in clubhouses, even with cop and EMS, man. I mean, notorious drinkers. And, I was always in like the hot spots and all that stuff. So they're like, well, you can't go there anymore. Screw that. I
Yeah.
still go to the casinos. I still go out, doing all the same things. Now I drink an Arnold Palmer and people just look at me and they're like, you sure there's nothing in there? Cause I'm having just as much fun getting cut up. And they're like, oh yeah, you sure have changed, trying to be funny a little bit. My one buddy's like, oh, you turned into real Mr. Nice Guy now. I'm like, don't get me wrong. I'll still punch you in the face. But I'll do it sober. But but with you, I mean, but like with people like you, Kayla, and musicians, man, that's what I mean. You see all these bands and traveling, and that's like you think of a rapper, you think of the
Uh-huh.
drugs and alcohol, man, and you're out on the road. I mean, it's there.
Doesn't have to
Yeah,
be.
it truly is. It truly is. It's fun. I mean, it's everywhere. A lot of times I don't put myself in situations, but I can be in situations where, you know what, I'm actually very surprised how much it doesn't affect me or influence the way I act, right? I'm okay. All right, Cakes, fifth time being up there. That's what you get.
Yeah.
You be good. So check it out. So I'm okay nowadays being somewhere where everybody's drinking. I can be that guy. I don't mind it. And honestly, I've learned to have fun. Like I go out on double dates, whatever, where I'm the only person not drinking. Cause
Mm-hmm.
Kayla's not in recovery, but she, if we go out to eat, she'll have like a glass of wine or something with her dinner, things like that, right? But sometimes we'll go on double dates and Kayla will have a drink or two, and my buddy and his lady are getting drunk. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah, there's
I'm
nothing
okay
wrong with
with
that.
it because I'm having fun. And it's really a cool thing to be able to be in those type of situations and not give in. You know what I'm saying? There's like a
Yeah,
sense of pride. There really is. There's times where
it
I'm like,
is.
I'm boss. I'm on some boss shit right now, right? There's drinks around. Like, I would love to tear it up, but I'm like, nah, we're good. We're good. You know what I'm
Yes,
saying? Like, it's kind of
it,
cool to me. Like, I walk away and I'm like, this is kind of dope. I don't like, I'm okay with not drinking. I'm okay with not using.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
yep. And it's just like I
it's
control
cool.
me, man. I make this. I'm in charge, not addiction. I'm gonna
You know,
decide what I do and don't do, not addiction.
and it's kind of fun though, because sometimes, like, not necessarily with Kayla, because Kayla's real smart. Kayla's book smart. She's a lot of into. That's one of my favorite things about Kayla is she's smart, and like she doesn't come from my world, so like she has a lot of knowledge about stuff that I've never experienced in my life, right? And so to me, that's really attractive, because it's like I've never been through that. I don't know that. Like Kayla speaks multiple languages and everything. I'm like, that's kind of cute. I
Oh,
like that. You
man.
know what I'm saying? I could use that as a partner. If you're my partner in life and you have all this wisdom, sure, yeah, I'll take it. Because Lord knows I don't know any of that stuff, right?
It's like you start talking. It's like, what did you just call me? Yeah. Now she can
Hey, she's
swear at
so
you in many
smart.
languages.
But it's really cool though
Yeah.
to like be somewhere and it's like I feel like I'm in charge or like feel like, you
Mhm.
know, I'm best fit because when like people are like partying and stuff and I'm not partying. Don't get me wrong, I don't end up in these situations very often because I don't leave the house very much, right? Unless like shows or business.
Sure.
Every once in a while I'll pop out, but it's kind of cool to be like everybody's like a little goofy and I'm just like I see everything, I hear everything, ain't pulling no wool over my eyes. I'm sitting back, I'm just posted. I'm watching all this stuff go down and I'm just like, huh, all right.
Yeah.
Sucks for
Yeah.
you, but I see not it's not gonna happen to me. I'm
It
sober. I see
is.
everything.
I remember I had one occasion, man. I remember I
Uh,
was probably about 2 or 3 years sober, and I went into this one bar that I mean, one of the regulars. And I walk in, and before I'd walk in, as soon as they see me, I'd have a bottle of Bud Light and a Crown Royal sitting there waiting. And I
yeah.
walk in, and everyone's there, and they're kind of. It's funny how like the first time they're just like, "Hi, I'm like, what's up, going on?" They're like, and then it's like the ultimate, like the bartender comes up, and you're like, they're all like, "What you gonna order?" And I'm like, "Yeah, man, I have an Arnold Palmer." And I'll
Yeah.
sit there and start sipping on it. And this one guy that I've known for a long time, man,
Uh,
he's hammered. He comes in, he's like, "Gunner, how you doing, man? What's going on?" We're talking, and he knows it, the story, obviously,
yeah.
but he was a little more intoxicated than usual. So he's
Yeah.
sitting there, and it was one of those things where it's, hey, get so and so around, get him around, get him, or he's doing that thing, order shots. And he looks there, and goes,
Yeah.
"Get Gunner a crown, a chilled crown, get him,"
Uh,
and everyone just looks at him, and they're like, he doesn't drink anymore. He goes, "Oh, I keep forgetting." And all of a sudden he goes, "Oh, you know what? I like the drunk Gunner."
Oof.
And
yeah.
everybody at the bar turned around and they're like, "You're a fucking idiot." You know that?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it went from like that. I mean, they weren't kidding. They're like, "I
Yeah.
can't believe you just said that."
Yeah.
And I was just like considering the source. I was just like, and I let it slide. It was just like,
Yeah.
but seeing the shape, it was just like, I mean, that was me all day, man. And I was that guy. And
Yeah.
but now, like you said, it's just going to these places. Cause I remember even some of my family, I remember like when I first got my first couple of months, first year, you
Yeah.
got family events, birthday, Christmas, holidays. My one cousin invited me over And he goes, my other cousin's going to be there. And he's like, there's going to be drinking. I'm like, what? There's going to be drinking?
Oh, no.
Oh, what the hell's wrong with you people? I'm like, John, come on, brother. I'm like, and I appreciate it, because they're looking out. They weren't sure how to react.
Yeah.
And I was like, no. This is on me. This is on anyone else.
That's
You
what I tell
guys
everybody.
do
I was
shots,
like,
I mean, I don't care what you do.
Yeah.
We're good. We're good.
I've been out to dinners and stuff, and people are like kind of weird because they know my situation. And then I was like, "You guys could drink if you want." They're like, "Are you sure?" And I was like, "Yeah." I was like, if you feel like you can handle it, you could drink. I said, "I just don't drink." And they're like, "Okay, cool." They're like, "Yeah, we'll get 2 drinks. You want this?" Like, you know what I'm saying?
You
And I'm
know,
like, "Yeah, I'll just have a root beer."
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? When I'm
it's
having
funny.
a good time, I like a good root bear. You know what I'm
You
saying?
know what, Skylar? It's
I
like,
get a
and
root
I know
beer.
exactly what you're talking about too, because just like me, when I was sitting there, they're like, just one of these things when you sit down and they're just like kind of staring. It's like
Going over the menu or anything.
and they're like, "Is it okay?" And then, like you said, it's like, Can we have a drink?" And then you're like, "Yeah," and they're like, "Okay, cool, thank God."
Yeah. That's what it's like because you always like see them like looking and stuff,
Yeah.
And I'm like, y'all could have a drink. Like, you sure? And I was like, yeah. Like, okay, cool. They're like, yeah, we'll have this, we'll have that. I was like, I'll just take a root beer. You know what I'm saying?
See,
When I'm ready to
you're
turn up, I'll have me a good root beer, a little sugar buzz. You know what I'm saying?
see, I go Arnold Palmer, man. You got.
Mhm.
Well, I'll have a nice tea, but if I like you, if I want to kick it up a notch, give me an Arnold Palmer, man.
That's why I like my Martinellis. You know what I'm saying? When I go because my dad's side of the family's drinkers, things like that, and it's like a holiday over there. I'll bring me a bottle of 2 Martinellis, pop the top, and I'm just drinking out the bottle. Good. You know, I got my own bottle. I bring bottles for everybody else, but I got my own bottle. Like my bottle of Martinelli's mine. Like I don't ask to take a swig off your Henny. You know what I'm saying? So this Martinelli's mine, baby.
Oh my God. It's just, man, it just goes to show you, man. And like we were saying, there's life after recovery or after addiction.
I'm
Addictions are
excited.
desolate.
I'm
It's
excited.
every
Life's
day.
getting crazy. Life's getting crazy and
Oh,
life's getting fun. Like it's a lot of stress, especially for like what me and Kayla do. We do everything.
oh,
And so like our days are so busy, right? Our downtime is precious. Things like that. But at the same time, like life is getting so chaotic, but in a good way. It's just because a lot of opportunities, a lot of cool stuff are happening because I've
yeah.
been on this journey long enough and it's starting to produce the fruits of the labor, right?
Mhm.
And I enjoy it, bro. I really do. It's like, I look at it like a video game. Like I feel like another level up is coming real soon. I feel like I'm in the middle of a boss fight right now, and I don't know if I'm gonna finish it today or tomorrow, and maybe next month. But I feel like in the next year or so, like things are about to get crazy. Like I could feel it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And
And
it's so exciting. It's so fun. I'm so grateful. Scared. I'm nervous.
which is good.
Um, Things are definitely getting harder and harder challenges. But I have more confidence because I am accomplishing a lot of stuff, and I know my worth that I'm bringing to the next level, right?
Oh,
So it's
yeah.
like this is scary, and I'm nervous, but at the same time, like I'm
You're
in this
excited.
situation because
Mhm.
of my actions.
Because you're kicking asses. I mean,
Ugh,
it's nothing that was just handed to you. I mean, it's hard
no,
work and
no,
stuff.
no.
And like you said about how, there's so much chaos going on with you, it's with your music, your tours, your writing, your books, I mean, signing sessions, and then
Everything.
selling your merchandise and all that. And it's all these
Uh,
things, but it is hard work. And just like, I mean, we're not singing and doing all that stuff, but like now, like doing these podcasts, it went from just sitting there with a phone to now all of a sudden, like we're doing shows. Now me and you are doing a show with Ian Bick. Now doing
yeah.
a show with, me and Boston are talking. We're flying out to New York to do a show. And then
Hmm.
that same day we're going to Connecticut. I'm doing a show with Demons Row with
That's
Sos.
crazy.
So it's just like things that I never thought that I'd ever
Imagined.
be doing are happening. And I remember telling OG, I said, listen, man, things are starting to get going. But I told, even when things started going, I'm like, something's like you just said,
It's brewing.
something's
It's a
happening.
brewing. The
And
stars
now it's
are
like,
aligning, man.
like, like this week we got shows every day. We
Yeah.
got this show. We're doing another live tomorrow. We're doing a guest speaking thing going on. Then Wednesday, another show. Thursday, then Saturday or Sunday off to New York, then to Connecticut, then back here Monday to do another show. And it's like, I'll sit there and it's like, it's hard and it's tiring, but man, I love this shit. I love doing shows. I love
It's
like
so
this.
fun.
The people meeting you.
Yeah.
I mean, a couple weeks ago we didn't know each other, and now we
No,
got
we
our own
didn't.
freaking show.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
Not only
You
that, but
know,
we got to let people in on. Not only do we have our own show, Music and Mayhem.
yeah,
Keep your eye out because we're going to have our own page starting up. We're going to be doing
absolutely.
stuff with StreamYard. We got all these things in the works. This Music and Mayhem. This is show number 2, and
Show number 2 of many.
oh, just many, man. But the things we got going on, and this is only after a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
it's just
it's fun, man. It's really cool to be able to, be in the right place. I'm a firm believer in, you know, proper preparation prevents poor performance. I'm very belief in you put in the work. I know a lot of people don't think they get opportunities and stuff like that, right? It's like trying to climb through the window before it closes. I know there's a lot of opportunities in life for a lot of people, but I think it's about being prepared for it, right? Being able to grab the moment and own it, being able to take whatever goal comes at the hand and be able to accomplish it and obtain the prize, right? So
exactly.
that's what it's about, man. It's just like preparing yourself. What you do behind closed doors will always come to the light. And that's why I believe in working hard. It's super important, man, to not only be a man of your word, or a woman of your word or
Hmm.
whatever, right? But
Hmm.
also, I believe that, I'm learning to do things even if I only tell myself in private. Right, be a
Mm-hmm.
man of my word to
Mm-hmm.
myself, because a lot
Yes,
of times
that's
I'm like,
huge.
oh yeah, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this, and then I don't do it, and then so I'm teaching myself it's okay not to do things that I tell myself to. Even if there's no accountability, even if no one knows these things, right? It's important to follow through because it really creates a mentality, a warrior's mentality. Like,
Yes,
I may have got myself in a little. My head may be underwater, but we're gonna fight through this and we'll make it out to the other end. Or I may have bit off more than I chew, and but I will finish.
exactly, man. And the thing is with goals, man, I've had people tell me, these are my goals. Okay. And then they're like, man, I achieved this. And it was like, okay. And I'm waiting. They're like, what? And I go,
Now what?
well, the game's not over, man. It's just starting. Now, what's the next goal? It's got
Right,
to be bigger, better, harder. And it's
has to
just
be.
because you proved yourself what you can do. And not only that, you can do so much more. I mean,
Yeah,
like I've
absolutely.
said before, too, the only limits that we have are the limits we put upon ourselves. And,
I believe that. I believe
don't,
that fully. I truly do.
Oh,
Like, we truly put limits on ourselves, and that's why, I think it's working that I have a lot more confidence in, especially like my work expertise and like, my job assignment. I understand that now I bring a lot to the table, like we talked last show. Now I realize I do put on a phenomenal show. I will deliver when being called upon, you
yep,
mm-hmm.
know? And so it really gives me the confidence to really step up to the challenge and, really put out a more, let's say, more desired result.
sure.
And it's an amazing thing, man. So if you're out there, if you're struggling, you don't know if you can do it, you don't know if you have what it takes, have confidence in yourself and understand that the goal isn't always to be perfect, right? The goal is to get through it and to do it better this time than you have the time before, right?
Yep. No,
But also start believing in yourselves, right? Because us as addicts, like, we go through so much stuff. Most of the stuff that we go through is what we put ourselves through. And I say
Mm-hmm.
this every time that I'm on tour and we're traveling around. Like, we got to be nice to ourselves. Like, the stuff we say to ourselves when we walk by the mirror, oh, I'm fat, like, I'm getting old, like, you know what I'm saying? I'm not attractive, I'm ugly, right? I can't do it. Like, I'm not as good as Jimmy Joe Johnson. You know what I'm saying?
I
Like,
got you,
all
brother.
these things we say to ourselves, if anybody else said it, we'd be scrapping with them. We'd be fighting
Yep.
them, right? We would never let no one talk to us the way that we talk to ourselves. So why are we allowed to say those things to ourselves, right? And
Amen.
it's truly about believing and really, wanting to achieve. And it's like baby steps. Like I said, don't have to be perfect. You don't have to
No.
know everything today. Pyramids in Rome wasn't built in a day or overnight. If you believe in the Bible, things like that, which I'm a little rusty. I believe in God, but I'm rusty with the Bible. I don't do church tonight. But I believe it starts out with it took them 7 days, right?
I tell you what, and that's just it. But like you nailed it too, man. Faith. I don't care what
Faith.
God you
Have
believe in or
faith.
don't believe in. And as long as you have faith, then first and foremost, man, whatever your faith is, I believe in God, but my faith, that's what mine has gotten me through. And that's mine, whatever yours
That's
is. But
that's what I
then you
always
got to
say.
have faith in yourself. And
Gotta have
yeah,
faith in yourself,
Skylar,
man.
I
I
remember,
believe in God. I'm
yeah.
big into faith. I'm everything like that. I don't go to church. I don't study the Bible. I don't do all that stuff.
Mhm.
I know my relationship with him's good. So I don't
Oh,
need to.
man.
To me, it's enough. And I get people do more because they want more, and I get that. There's nothing wrong with that. But personally, me, like, my faith's good enough. I know I'm straight with the Lord.
Yep.
You know what
As
I'm
long as
saying?
you feel
I
good.
know, I believe in him, and I know he believes in me,
Oh,
and we
without a
good.
doubt.
I talk to him. We all right. You know what I'm saying?
I remember I was talking
We
about that
good.
one time on a show, man, and we were talking about just that. And someone asked me, they said, man, you said something about as long as you have faith. And because I never push any religion. And I said, no, whatever you believe in. And I was on a
Yeah.
roll this one night, and I said, I don't give a shit if your faith is you have faith in a dead possum's asshole, then you pray to a dead possum's asshole.
You pray.
And
You
all of a
pray
sudden I
good.
look over at OG, and I look at OG, and she's just like, and then all of a sudden, I look at one of the comments from, I think it was Tony. She's from down south somewhere, and she goes, Manny, she goes, I'm fixing to go find me a dead possum and start me a cult.
Hey,
I
let's
was just
go.
like, yeah,
And just don't
baby.
drink the juice.
Don't drink the juice. Oh my
Don't drink
God.
the juice.
But man, and it like you said, man, look the way we talk, man. I did another show one time. We were talking about, you nailed it, man. If someone else said that, we'd be scrapping. But the thing is, our own words can set us up for victory or be set us up for disaster. When it starts coming out of your mouth, you know what? Oh, I can't do this. I won't be able to do that. You just put yourself, you're failing. You know what?
Stop
I
saying you
will do
can't
that.
do it. You
Oh,
know
I
what I'm
can do
saying?
this. If I can't do it this
And
way,
it's
I'll do
like,
it another way.
yep, and it's like Bruce Lee, I believe he made a famous quote, that he said, be kind to yourself because your words to yourself have, they're like spells. They have a lasting impression on yourself. If you always think you can't do it, then you're not going to be able to do it. If you think you can, you can. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
man.
saying? Stop putting limitations on yourself. If you want something, go out there and achieve it. The world ain't going to hand it to you. You go out there and grab it. I don't care who got it. You go out there and you take it.
It
You
is. And the
know?
thing is, too, man, like you said, too, about you look by the mirror, oh, you're ugly, you're fat, you're this. If you think that, and if you're going
I
to
do it all
portray
the
that,
time to
the thing
myself,
is,
and I
you're
know
sitting there.
not to do it.
Well, yeah, now you're going to have, if I'm projecting that to myself to a mirror, you're projecting that to the people walking by. And then when they do give you that little look, you're going to be like, oh, shit, I knew it. I knew I looked like
I
shit.
knew it.
No,
I do
they're
it
just
all the
looking at
time.
you
I do
because
it
you
all
got
the
a
time.
booger hanging out of your nose.
Yeah, yeah.
No?
It's true. It's true. Just be kind to yourself. It all boils
Yeah.
down. Be kind to yourself. Be patient. We ain't looking for people to be perfect. Nobody's perfect. Like who you are and what your strengths are and your weaknesses are.
Yes.
What makes you vulnerable. Lead into it. Kevin Hart says double down at what you're good at. I truly believe in that, but I also believe in, double down on like your flaws, your vulnerability, right? These are all these things because, I know you guys have heard the saying, you're only as strong as your weakest link, okay?
Definitely,
Well, as it
yes.
refers to yourself as a body, as a temple, right? Your own whatever, your own body, you're only as strong as your weakest link. So that means, what are your character defects, right? What are, your flaws, all your things like that. Sit with that uncomfortableness. Take time to learn yourself, study yourself, figure out who you are and realize where you're going and understand this may be holding me back. This may be
Yeah.
the reason why I have failed multiple times. Well, guess what? I acknowledge that and I will start working on that. And maybe once, I'm right here at this situation or subject, but maybe once I get right here, that's enough to get me over the hump. You see that? This is the
Exactly.
hump, and now we over it. So now we ready to coast because we are only as strong as our weakest link. Start believing in yourself. If you watching this right now, I challenge you to recognize what your flaws are, what your character defects are, and I challenge you to go to battle with those things. Understand it, realize who you are, what makes it tick, and I promise you, you will accomplish once you start working on those things. We're all good at doing, like, if we're good at something, we can do it with our eyes closed, right? Challenge yourself. Challenge yourself today. Challenge
Yes.
yourself this week and see how your life improves. I promise you it will.
Yeah,
I
and it's
promise.
easy, man. Like you said, man, if you're going to do the same thing and you're good at it, don't take the
Yeah.
chicken shit way out and keep doing that because you're good at it. If you're going to do this, well, I don't want because I'm not as good at it. Keep doing it until you're better. And then, like for me, my biggest thing is, if I hear those words, it's something, any negativity from now on, like you just said, bring it on because I'm going to look at you in the eyes and I'm just going to say challenge accepted. Challenge
accepted,
accepted. Is that all
Challenge
you got?
accepted.
Is that all you got? Come on, man.
Ah.
Challenge accepted. So everything you said, you just nailed it, and end it with challenge accepted.
Challenge accepted. I absolutely love it, man. And I'm so proud of everybody in the comments. I see a lot of people.
Oh man,
Excuse
I
me.
was just
I
gonna.
drank a lot of water, so I see a lot of people that are they're relating to it. I see them. People
Oh
saying yes.
yes,
People saying spot on. Words of wisdom right there. Ginger let out the firework emoji. Karen saying being accountable. Heidi saying I'm loving it. All these people are agreeing it because these are real
yes.
topics. These are things that we face and things that we can relate to on a human level. Right? So if you are here, if you are watching this, if you are giving an effort, me and Manny are proud of you. Even Thing in the back right there, she's giving you a thumbs up. Like, I promise you, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, keep doing. See, there's a thumbs up right there. There's a thumbs up right there. So we are locked in. We are loaded.
Thank you for the nose.
Keep being the best version you can be of yourself. Me and Manny believe in you. We truly
Oh,
do.
100%, 100%, man. And like I said, some things are out of our control that are meant to be. And
Absolutely.
me and Skylar having that meeting and then doing that show together was meant to be because it turned into Music and Mayhem. It turned into a brotherhood, man. It turned into family. And I love you, brother. And before we end this, man, you guys know about why don't you give them a quick? Do you have your dates and rundowns of the rest of your tour? You don't, do you?
No, we don't. No, he doesn't.
No, I
You
don't.
need to come prepared.
Well, you
Did
know
I
what?
text
How
that
about
to you?
tomorrow
Did I
night?
text that to you, or did I? How did
No.
I do that?
No, actually,
Manny,
I think you did.
I texted to
No.
you, Manny.
No, he did.
No.
He
Are you
did.
prepared?
I
Oh, there it is.
forgot to send it to you.
Where's it at? Hold on, I'm looking.
Hold on a minute, man.
Well, your next official show is the 25th. Okay, it's a week from this Wednesday. Make sure you have your dates on next Wednesday.
No, he's
Am
got
I?
a show tomorrow.
Yeah, I know, but he's going to have more than just one show.
Okay.
Yeah,
shows
so we
coming
got a show. We got
Wait
a
a minute.
show tomorrow. It is going down in Baker City, Oregon, 5:30
Okay.
to 8 o'clock. Geezer Park. And I know there's another Geezer Pullman. It could be Gazer. Check it out. That is going down. That is a free show. Come celebrate recovery with us. I know we have a show Thursday.
Wait, what is this? The 17th. You're going to be in Baker City on
Baker City.
on the 19th. Provoking
Provoking Hope. Oh, yep. We will be
okay,
in
you're going to be there
McMinnville.
on the 19th.
Yep.
On the 20th, you're
We'll be in
Portland, Portland. On
So we'll be
on the
so on the
27th.
20th. On the 20th. Hold on. So on the 20th, we will be at Coda over there near Gresham on 181st. And then we will be over at the Panarosa Lounge that night. I believe we are hopping on stage with the good old boys. Debuting our brand new song. So that will be 2 shows in one night. Then the 21st is not on there. We will be in Bend, Oregon. We are traveling with the good old boys down that way. Now where are we at after that?
27th. The 27th.
Clackamas 4D.
Yes,
Clackamas
you're there.
4D. Yes, we will be there. That is going to be our last local show in Portland on this tour. So make sure you show up and show out. I reached out to my friends to be performing with them as well. We'll see. I'm waiting for a text back on that, so I don't want to say their names till it's a confirmation. But we'll have some lovely speakers. I know we got Trudy Jones coming up from, North Washington. We have my man Jeremy Alexander will be coming out and speaking. I'll be doing a little speaking. Me and Kayla will be performing. But this is an all ages event. We have Lisa's Kitchen coming. Free snow cones. We're gonna have free ices. We're gonna go ahead and have free pizza for everybody. Free drinks, energy drinks. We always have something for all ages. So make sure you guys come out. It will be our last local show in the Portland metro area. So if you're looking for a free show, why not come through? It's going to be amazing. And I don't know if you know this. So a lot of shows on this tour, I would say 95% of like the 100 shows we've done on this tour the last few years are completely free to the people.
There you go, man. You can't. In fact, I've got it right here, and I will be putting this on our page. So, I can't believe OG forgot to do this.
Oh, geez, slipping and slacking, bro.
It may have had something to do with me forgetting to send it to her.
No, man, you don't make mistakes. OG, I'm holding you accountable. Wait till we have the splitter. Just wait till I see your face.
Sorry, that's it. The split. Also, going to be.
It's been ordered.
It's ordered. So hopefully in a week or so. But man, I tell you, man, Skylar, thank you so much for everything, man. This is,
Thank you so much.
like I said, number 2 of many, many, many more to come.
Mhm.
Music Mayhem. We were just, like I said, today, the things we went over, the stuff you've done, the stuff that you and Kayla are doing is just,
Fabulous.
just you are helping so many freaking people, and
Thank
your
you.
music is touching them on such a different level, man. When they think that they're down and out, and they are having one of those moments, and they hear your lyrics and your rap, and then they hear her come in, they know that they're not alone. And then
Absolutely.
they come on to our family, and they see this. They come to Music and Mayhem. They come into My Fight Our War and all that, and they're not alone. And
Yeah.
so again, man, I love you, man.
I love you too, man. Thank you so
So-
much, guys. I'm gonna be hopping off. This show's getting ready to end. Next Wednesday we'll be live again, right?
25th.
A week from Wednesday, yes, we will be live again. I'll talk to you before I go to New York, and we'll get everything rolling. And with
What
more
time
stuff.
on the 25th?
I think 7.
No, that's
What time you want?
Wednesday. Let's go
Well,
back to 7. Will be 7:30.
Which is what time in Portland? Give me your nose.
Now it's
7:30 would
froze.
be 4:30 my time.
7:30.
Is that okay with
4:30
you?
my time.
Okay.
Yeah, that works for me.
All right,
Ginger, I
so-
see you're saying have a great night. I'm gonna reach out to you. Everybody in the comments, I'm gonna reach out to you. I love you. Next Wednesday, the 25th, 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific time.
There you
Let's get
go.
it.
There you
Music and
go.
Mayhem, episode
You're
2.
good.
I'm out.
I love it, man. Have a good one.
You too.
There you have it.
Woo.
Music and Mayhem number 2. Skylar Ray. I tell you what, he can't help but smile.
Yeah.
You just can't help but smile, man. I just love the guy, and we just hit it off with doing that show, and we just both started talking. It's like, man, we got to do this, and you can see the results. Thank you all. You got all the comments. OG's got the comments. We'll
I've
be
been
going
talking to
through them after we do the live. They'll be coming right now. I'm looking off. If you only knew what I am looking at off screen right now. It's a part of Skylar Ray, and I will let you guys imagine what part that is.
Yeah.
So thank you all for your comments, and keep them coming for all the shows. A lot of involvement, a lot of questions, a lot of comments, and everything that you can think of. If you want to come on with us, if you got something, so we got to get a picture and then post the picture. But we will be going over everything and responding to all the questions and all the comments. So thank you so much, man. Much appreciated. Love you guys. And as always, man, keep fighting a good fight.